power of Quang Dong. He's going to put everything into every single ball.
I think Zane's going to give him everything he can handle.
Absolutely.
I've been watching Zayn Ford now for a couple of tournaments, and definitely good at singles. One of the things I've been watching is whether he shows that doubles talent on the singles court, and I think he does. He's able to do some cat and mouse.
I think that is that smart thing to do. Just like that. I mean, we talked about this drop volley as one of a shot where neither of us are really particularly fans of, and that was pretty impressive that he just hit right there. So yeah, you could see the intensity. He wants this. He's staring him down in between, getting himself motivated.
Well, Zane's one of those players, Sarah, that I think one of the things hard to do out here is really break through, get a signature win, kind of get known.
Yeah.
This is the kind of match that a player like Zayn Ford's looking for his opportunity to get
Absolutely.
a signature win and kind of get known for something. And you start to get, even though it's singles, you get known for that and you start to get better partners at doubles.
Yep.
It makes the game a hell of a lot easier to play with a good doubles partner.
Yep, I think that's, I talked to a lot of the young players right now, and they're like, I just need a couple of good wins. I'm like, they know that will take them a long way when it comes to sponsorship deals and contracts and those types of things. But it's a great pool that we're working from, and so this could be. I mean, great win last round. I mean, taking out Roscoe Bellamy.
Absolutely.
That's not bad at all. And if he can double down and come out with a win here, that's huge.
Yeah, he's got good topspin off that forehand. One of the examples, though, I have, Sarah, was last year at Desert Ridge. Augie Guh, Tyra Black had a cancellation in mixed, was able to get Augie Guh as a partner at the last minute. Nobody really knew who Augie was. They had a great run to a bronze medal, and then suddenly, oh, that Augie guy, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he starts to get better and better partners.
Yep.
Got on Dallas Flash, won MLP, and now everybody looks at him like, well, he's a top player. Well, not a year ago.
You had to get somewhere.
Not a year ago.
Yep, exactly.
And if he doesn't get that break where Tyra's partner cancels and has an opening, maybe he's still, down there struggling a little bit.
And I think that's, we've been discussing this a lot. The talent pool is not getting any smaller. It's getting bigger and bigger. It's harder and harder to break through now, get those wins. And mind you, because, I mean, it's been a big – singles draws are a lot bigger than they used to be because it's easier for players to break in through singles, play the draw because they can't get good doubles partners yet.
Oh, you get some crazy draws here. I noticed some of the PPA tournaments have had over 100 in the men's singles qualifier draw. Over 100.
Yep.
This one wasn't quite that big, but still a lot of players. So just getting into the main draw, and then your reward for breaking through in the qualifiers, you get somebody tough in the first round often. But
that's very true. That's what I do. I love seeing this. I definitely have not. I agree. I have not watched Zayn Ford as much. This is probably the closest look I've really had at him, to be totally honest.
Oh, watch for his double skills that show through. He's got some real controlled topspin on especially off his forehand.
What I actually like that I'm seeing so far is how high his contact point is. It's a much higher when you compare Quang Dong where he's hitting it. His contact's very low.
I think I guarantee you he recognizes the opportunity he has right here.
Oh,
I guarantee you. It's not just another match for him. This is a chance. Q's one who's made a lot of publicity for himself over the course of the last 6 months to a year. This is a chance for another guy to get it back. To work off of the reputation that Q has earned over the last year.
And Quang.
Oh, he had that one.
Quang's our number 5 seed.
Well, if Zayn Ford doesn't win this game, remember that shot.
Yeah.
Seriously, remember that shot.
It's true. Again, the win is a little bit of adjustments, and again, we could see if that shot started something, and and I think we'll see how also Zane is able to respond to that.
I think Q needs to get into the net a little bit more. He's seeding the net to Zane.
I would agree with that, and I think a little bit because when he was coming in the net earlier, Zane was just passing him right and left.
Yeah. Well, I think he needs to. I think he needs to work on Zane's backhand.
Yeah.
Zane's forehand's pretty good, both power and with some controlled rolls. But if I was Q, I'd be coming to the net more, and I'd be using approaches to Zayn Ford's backhand.
And that's a great timeout.
You see a timeout the other way? No.
We're still going, so it's 4-6. I'd be curious on this point. Maybe I would throw a timeout in here if I'm Zayn Ford. But especially now, you could see that energy shift from him after that.
Boy, how quickly things change, Sarah. I said that forehand, he's serving at 7-1. Instead, it's tied at 6-6.
Yep.
With Q serving. All because of that forehand.
Again, we look at how long does he let this happen, or does he make that timeout call, or is he able to convert this, just get one ball back over? So they call it wide, that he's just long.
It's like we got a challenge on the serve.
Immediate challenge on that serve, and again, this could be a give or take on. And so
obviously something that PPA needs to address in the future rules.
And that's
only referees with X-ray vision can be on replay.
The referee, they want to be certain about a call. They're not going to overrule a call unless they're 100% confident. And so honestly, I think I could not see it from here. I don't think we had a great angle either. We're back at 6-6 with Quang Dong serving.
Q serving big now. He's feeling it. Match turned around all in that forehand volley. There's a smart play from Zayn Ford. See, there's the chess match, Sarah, where Q approaching to Zayn Ford's backhand. Zane responds by running around that backhand, getting that forehand in the game.
And just looking at how he struck those last couple balls and how well they were able to dip, it's, he's hitting that ball from a fairly high contact point and still generating that time spin. And just, again, it's something, hit so many choices and just overcooked it. But
that was an odd shot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he trying to hit Q?
I don't know on that one.
That was really odd.
It was.
He had about 57 choices.
And you can absolutely see the energy on this side of the court completely shift. He's not as fired up, and that can be like tricky with a lot of players because you've got the energy up on Quang Dong's side, and you've got to find it somewhere, even if it's something simple to get yourself motivated again.
Yeah, there again is the approach shot to the backhand. Yeah, you're right, Sarah. Though Zane's gone like completely quiet,
super flat.
One of the people I'd mentioned in that context is Annalie Waters. You see how Annalie, she does the same thing, kind of talking to herself, yelling at herself, getting herself fired up. When she loses a couple points, what do you hear from her? Fight, fight, fight. She's still as demonstrative. She's still as loud. She's trying to refire herself up.
I almost wonder, though, so he's playing with the 6-0 paddle right behind Zayn Ford, and that's what he went to on that timeout, is basically the 6-0 team. And so, that either adds a layer of pressure and or may or may not be affecting how he's playing right now. But when he made that challenge, he did immediately go to them and start chatting away.
Well, I can't give him any excuse for that one. You got to play in front of big crowds. You got to play pressure matches. You got to play on TV.
Absolutely.
If you can't perform and somebody's watching, you're going to be in trouble out here.
Yep.
There's a nice roll back.
There's a little bit of energy coming back in him. He's just taking his time executing that shot.
Yeah.
I really love the contact point he's got.
I like how he took something off it again.
Absolutely.
Placement over power. No.
It's just it's interesting. I think he's been pretty. He just immediately went down for that ball instead of looking for a high volley. He was kind of in control of that, but let Quang Dong's approach shot kind of put him on defense. I think that's a fantastic challenge. Immediately, Quang is when it's bouncing was calling it, and a 9-8 for Zane, so he could really take advantage of that.
Serving 9-8 instead of Q serving at 9-9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really good control and hold on that ball. Again, I'm loving to see how high Zane's making that contact. He's able to really get that ball down nicely.
You know, Zane played a good point.
Absolutely.
Played a good point.
Yeah.
Just got beat. Oh, nice.
That time a little bit right. Again, that play, trying to hit that little short drop volley, but now ready for the ball to come back. I think that's, hugely different. They got into the hand speed rather than Quang redirecting it slow behind him.
Oh, wow.
That's a huge point.
Man.
Super well played.
Cat and mouse from Zayn Ford.
Absolutely. I think
lovely.
I love seeing Quang Dong. He's such good control up at the net. That's one of the hardest positions to be in. You're at the net, and the person at the baseline is just getting balls back and making you hit more and more. And it's either to overcook. He did a great job staying in that point, but the shot that Zayn Ford, that's amazing.
The quality drops. There was like 3 in a row at least.
Huge.
You just don't see very many singles players do that.
I mean, that's first game to Zayn Ford. That's
wow.
When we're talking about it. This could be a career. Tricky.
Yeah, Q needs to let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to let that go. Even if you think you're 100% right, and you just got ripped off by not 1 but 2 calls, you've got to let it go.
Super tough. Yeah. It's. I know, like for myself, sometimes I like a call like that.
Oh, what a shot!
It can get you motivated. If he can use it the right way, it can motivate him. However, after a shot like that, it's also pretty defeating, because all of a sudden now it's 5-0 instead of 1-0. Just again, that's a smart play from Quang Dong, not trying to overcook it.
I think Q was probably right on that first call that he challenged. We just unfortunately didn't have a replay that could show it, but the second one was definitely out.
Absolutely, and that again goes to show you if a call's affecting you, your decision-making process is not always reliable.
1-5. Let's see if he can want to run, get back in here.
Oh, wow.
What'd you think on that one, Sarah?
I thought that landed, but It's a tough angle from here. You know,
it's pretty close to us. It's not. We don't have the best view on that line.
Okay,
but
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good
Yeah.
too. I thought it hit right in that corner.
It's super frustrating. It's a phenomenal point. I mean,
Yeah,
come on
that was a
both
great point,
ends.
yeah.
I mean, and then you have a shot, something like that at the end where you're like, oh, it can be super defeating. And Quang is like, he has not won a challenge. The first game either is the same issue. You just couldn't see it from the cameras, so. And it did look like, as soon as he made that error, he looked back at the 6-0 team. Maybe just distracted in some way or something.
Just looking to see where Q's father is.
That is.
Because, you know, after every point in matches, he often looks at his father.
Yes. Yep. He is over on his side of the court in the bleachers.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
You go. And honestly, that's the volley that he should have hit the last one. And it just did not.
Well, we've got a nice and growing crowd here on Grandstand Court. We've got standing room only now.
Yeah, we're getting.
Standing a couple of deep on the one side.
Getting more to the middle of the day. Got mixed doubles day tomorrow.
What a forehand there.
And that has been that pattern a couple times here for just pulling Zane to his backhand, opening up that forehand space.
Oh, man, I love the cat and mouse play we're seeing mainly from Zayn Ford, but also Q a little bit.
Yeah,
a lot of roll forehands.
Yeah, really good combinations, mixing up the ball a lot, changing the speed of the ball, directions of the ball. Really fantastic.
Yeah, this is a really well played match.
And just a huge return. A lot of pressure on that ball. Okay, now that crowd is like, that's the first time we've actually heard clapping in the crowd. So now you talk about it, we have all these people out here, and it's a fantastic match, but so quiet out here. Just I love to see the crowd get a little bit more.
Well, I think it's more of an ooh and ah crowd than it is a clapping crowd.
It seems to be.
Well, Q hanging in there. I mean, Zane's kind of dominated this game, had those calls all go his way, but Q's hanging in there.
I mean, honestly, after getting those calls, for the score to be where it is pretty good. It's it could be in a lot worse situation.
I don't like that choice of shot. It
yeah,
worked, but that's a really difficult shot.
It is super hard, and it's rarely. I always think it's a 50-50 shot. It's either gonna work out amazing or set up your partner.
Well, the one I point to on that shot, Sarah, is Federico Staksrud. What Staksrud does is he hits roll, topspin volleys, and just keeps the opponent back, waits for a better ball to do something with.
Yeah, I think that really is the issue, is players use it at the wrong time. You know, like that'd be pretty ridiculous if he was able to make that angle off of that ball. But again, we've got Quang Dong kind of getting more comfortable, moving past those calls.
Yeah, I think he has gotten past it. I think that's a good point.
Jeez, and like, mind you, it's right there, super off-pace return from Zayn Ford, which is very smart. He's been adjusting some of the speeds on the returns and the serves, which again is taking Quang Dong into a different contact point, a different tempo, but it just, luck went Quang's way.
It's a little wide. Yeah, this is another one, Sarah, feels like it's going to be a 11-9, 12-10 kind of game.
Yeah, it's been definitely a little bit momentum shifting each way throughout. Now, I do love when Quang starts doing that. He'll start to take some of those balls in the air and approach behind it. He has not done that much in this match.
Zane's had trouble converting any of his serves here lately.
Yeah.
The lead has almost disappeared. Oh.
Wow, and that's just almost unnecessary.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was
It's-
thinking the same thing, sir, when you hit the shot. I mean, Q's game is power, so I can see where the shot comes from,
Yeah.
but you've got so many options there. A roll, forehand, cross court, roll it down the line.
When I think this is kind of what I was saying about what earlier when we were saying these extreme grips can cause issues. And in shots like that, those are so easy to overhit.
Yeah.
And
See, I love that shot selection from Zayn Ford there.
See, and there's a drop.
Love it.
You know, so there's that drop volley that we're talking about. That is, it can be it's a hit or miss. And essentially, all he did was invite Zane to the net for a passing shot, and the ball floated up nice and perfectly for him.
I would
It's-
say, and I'll defend Q for a little bit on that drop volley, in that he didn't have a lot of options. It was such a good drop,
Yeah.
and Q's reaching for it. So
Well, what I liked about this he let that one bounce. Like what he's doing on some of these is he's forcing to take him in the air, and it's not really setting him up very well.
yeah, Zane's been going a lot across court. And there he went inside out.
Hmm. And so it's a little bit of a lead. Here's our 8-5, so that spread is 3. And he absolutely let that go, and it dropped right in there. And that is,
Boy, I thought it was going long too.
it did. And then that goes to show you it's windier than it seems.
I
there's-
definitely thought that ball was going
Yeah.
long when he hit it. No, that is long.
And just overcooked again, and
Wow.
we're in a very different place.
What just happened?
I
It's
mean,
big,
we've got a
big, big.
match point right now for Zayn
Match
Ford.
point.
It's we talk about this is a huge opportunity.
No.
And there's that drop volley again.
No, I mean, he had it too. He had time to hit a
Yeah.
better shot.
And that's kind of that's what I mean is there's especially these balls at the net. I think when Quang is taking his time, letting balls bounce, that's when he's setting it up nicely. When he's rushing, taking balls maybe too early, that's just walking into what Zayn Ford wants. It does look like he might be struggling a little bit physically.
Well, Zane's got a habit of doing that. I've noticed in his matches. He will sort of a non-timeout timeout.
Yeah.
He just really takes a lot of time before sending the ball back to his opponent when they're serving.
Yep.
Takes his time to get his towel.
Yep.
He gives himself an extra,
It's
20,
good.
30 seconds.
Use what you can. And now he's got a second match point.
Oh, he had it.
Yeah.
He had it.
Wide open, he did.
Oh, he had it.
It's a shot that he's made many times in this match so far.
He's been so successful at the roll and went inside out. He had it.
And it's a ball he had to play on. That got Quang off of 5, so that's a 2 match point save so far. Which
Yeah, I like that volley.
I do too.
Just solid. Keep your opponent back.
You don't need
Make
to
him
do that
execute.
much. Yeah. And again, that's where the quality of mixing up the shots, the speeds, whereas Quang's game is heavy topspin, And if it's not working, he's got to be able to find a different answer. How do you work through these problems on the court when you've got someone that's utilizing different spins and paces to cause errors?
Well, he had a forehand there.
You know,
Zane has had opportunities to close this out.
when you think like this is a big match. We talked about this. This could completely change his career. He could get eyes on him a lot more, and it's hard. It is hard to close in these matches.
Q called it in the air. He was right.
Yeah, I mean,
close.
It was. It's a lot closer than
8-10.
8-10.
Holy cow, that is out.
It is. It's
Ford did not contest it.
Not at all. And all of a sudden we're 9-10.
Do you think this is a big point?
No. And that's the shot from Quang Dong that I love seeing, when he just accelerates from that baseline and takes that ball in the air. He's not been doing that a lot in this match, but he also doesn't have the opportunities. I don't want to make any predictions. I'm just not saying anything. I feel like if I say anything, it's going to. But I mean, look at the position we're in. 2 match points for Zayn Ford to a game point.
I think it was 3.
Actually. 3.
All right, got away with that drop volley.
Here we go.
See if he can get it together and get a point.
Yeah.
What a turnaround, though.
Yeah.
I was regretting when you asked me who I thought was going to win at 7-5, and I said coin flip, because boy, it sure looked like, well, I should have just said Zane.
Yeah.
Q has turned this around.
Again, shows you the quality of player that he is. What he can turn around and execute. And that is a spot. And that's what I mean. Like, I don't think he needed to take that in the air. I think if with that speed, he maybe could have let that bounce and then just played that ball anywhere.
Oh, yeah, yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's
now, Sarah, what would you do here if you're Zane? I mean, you got to think about, what do you want to do on this point? Do you want to get yourself some kind of a big forehand and go for it?
I think he's got to commit behind his shots, period. If he doesn't commit like it looks like and this is what we've seen on these other points is he's uncertain. He looks uncertain when he's trying to close it out. And
you don't know exactly what ball, obviously, you're going to get back on the server turn, but I would have liked him to commit to either I'm going to try to hit a big passing shot or I'm going to cat and mouse it.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was in between. Oh, that's a hell of a shot there by Q.
Incredible. Again, so now we've got another game point. Yeah, I just really feel like this is an attest to who Quang is on the court. He does have great mental stability. He's pulled himself out of some calls. I mean, and he decided to get into that hand speed battle. I don't know if that was. He hasn't. I mean, essentially, that hasn't happened all match.
Don't like
and
that
there it
shot.
is. We are here. I think we are ready to go. This is our last match in La Mike, and it looks like we're here for another game. Hard to predict, and Quang Dong is starting off this 3rd game, and that is what I love seeing from. Again, now, if we keep seeing that pattern from Quang, I think that it's going to be a really tough hill for Zayn Ford.
Yeah, I'd have to. It's easy to say after that first point and how it looked, but I'd have to favor Q. I think he's kind of got the momentum. He overcame those things that he thought were bad calls.
Yeah.
And
I mean, absolutely fantastic from Quang Dong. And I do have to say, so Michelle Esquivel is getting a big shout out from me right now because she is next as commentator, but she was smart and brought an umbrella. So I'm
guess-
finally giving some shade here. it's
Michelle recognizing that umbrellas in Arizona are not for rain.
yes,
they're
they
for
are
sun.
not for rain. I'm
guess-
from the Northwest. We don't use umbrellas.
if you use an umbrella for sun protection, does that make it a parasol?
I guess.
That's my question.
I mean, but I gotta say,
Maybe it's a parasol.
Michelle Esquivel is my favorite person in the world right now. Like,
Oh, there's a nice
there it is.
backhand roll there from Tommy Evans. He has got to get together here. He has got, we had Q with the situation. We had to let go what was happening.
Yeah.
Here we got Zayn Ford has got to let go what has happened at this point. You cannot sit here and think, I had 3 match points. I let him get away. How could I not win 1 out of 3 points?
Yeah.
You got to win game 3.
Huge mental thing to
Beautiful.
cover through, and he can't. He's had 2 phenomenal games.
Another great roll.
It's not like they were, they're tight. He's played fantastic, and so either it's going to be a huge push for Quang, but if he's able to move past this, he could still absolutely win this match.
No doubt. I mean, it's still a coin flip match.
Mm-hmm. And that is like what I feel like he's done pretty well throughout this match is he's kind of held and gotten Quang Dong to just move just a little bit the other direction and been able to hit behind him, create a lot of good opportunities.
Whoa.
It's incredible. Honestly, Quang should not have won that point. It was
That was a
there was
crazy
about
point.
somewhere in the middle of that point. It was huge opportunity for Zane, and it just kind of stumbled the other way.
Zane caught his foot a little bit in the tarp there. I think he's okay.
Yeah, seems like it. Even now, it's 3-2. We are.
Yeah,
pretty tight.
that's a good run there for
Absolutely.
Zane. Get himself back. Let's see if he starts talking himself, fire himself up
Yep.
a little more.
I definitely want to see that. And we have
Whoa.
a chair in the stands that fell off. So one of the spectators fell backwards in the chair, and she's okay. That's good. This happened at MLP in Orlando as well. It's just that one little piece was missing, and someone fell over in the middle of a match. So I remind people, if you're in the stands, just remember these are not recliners. So
I'm glad everybody's okay.
yeah, it's like she's got a drink in her hand. She's happy. So a little bit of timeout for both players. And just again, so that's Zane. So what I'm curious about is, will he stop trying to hit this drop volley?
No. No. Nobody's changing what they do best at this point, or what they think they do best.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I'd still like to see Zane continue with that cat and mouse. Continue with. I think
agree.
he's at his best with his rolls. Take a little off the ball. That's what got him those 3 points this game. Yeah. He's putting a lot of topspin on that ball. A lot of dip.
Again, you look at, because people talk about Quang Dong and how much topspin he has. If you look at their contact point, they're very different. Quang is coming up from a much lower position, whereas Zane his contact point's much higher. So what he's also getting out of that is a better downward trajectory on the shot when it lands. I'm always about an underdog. I'm always about that, but I got to say how Quang has held through this match is really, really impressive. It just goes to show you how much you know, almost a veteran now on being able to maintain out on court. I hate to say that because we've been talking about that all day. A lot of new young players and then a few veterans, and there's a huge difference when you're able to make that execution. And we get the change of ends fairly that, hey, I want to take advantage of this right now. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And he's definitely trying to pull Quang Dong into the net and then look at those passing shots. It's worked very well for him so far, but it's a completely different body language on each side of the court right now.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's a thing where Q is getting energy and taking it away from Zane,
Yeah.
or Zane is going low energy and Q's feeding off of it. He needs a point here.
Absolutely.
Q looking over at his father.
Well, and that right there, that is probably one of the very few balls that Quang has hit kind of a medium pace, not very powerful.
I don't like that shot at all.
And he was ready to jump on that. He's like, no more. And I know from our end, we're like, oh gosh, I hope it's a good angle. Like that's all I care about. I hope that it's not blocked by someone's body or the net cord.
The net cord.
And the hat is coming off.
Yeah, I don't.
And
I don't like Ford's energy level
not
right
at
here
all.
at all.
We talked about this earlier. It's either going to be is he going to be laying up all night thinking about those 3 match points?
Yep.
Absolutely.
He's thinking about them right now.
Right now, which you can't. You cannot do that. You have to be in the moment in pickleball.
I mean, he's going to be thinking, if he loses this match, he's going to be 3 a.m. He's going to be thinking about those points, but he's thinking about them right now.
Yeah, that's not the time. You've got to shake it off during the match. You can deal with it later.
Yeah.
I mean, none of these returns are really doing much.
Almost a flop. That's pretty unnecessary.
It's
just turned completely around.
Just hard to watch. You know, because it's I mean, I've definitely been on the court so many hundreds of times of when you are so frustrated with yourself, you had your opportunities and everything, and but it's about how do you move on from that.
No, it's obviously a lot easier to do it when you're sitting here being a commentator, but you and I both played hundreds and hundreds of tournaments and all kinds of matches and been there, done that.
It's a huge win from Quang. I mean, a great performance from Zayn Ford. I think again, it's almost like he